It is day 63 of the suffering. It is Sunday, and it is weigh-in day. So I weighed in today officially at 207 pounds. So last week I weighed in at 209.6 or 8, I can't remember. And today I was 207 on the dot. So that's 2.5 pounds from last week to this week. So I'm down another 2.5, which is cool. That's really, really great progress, but my abs still are nowhere near in sight. 207. If you would have told me when I was 260 I would be 207 and I wouldn't have abs, I would laugh at you and say, you're an idiot and you don't know what you're talking about. There's no way I'm carrying that much body fat. Ha 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 ha. Well, lo and behold, I was super delusional. I had a lot of delusion, you know what I'm trying to say, about how much body weight I actually had. Also, there's a hurricane going on right now. I'm in Houston, and we have a Cat 1 hurricane going on outside. So if you're hearing the thundering and the heavy rain, if I lose power, that's because the thunder and lightning and the winds finally got really heavy enough to knock my power out. It's going pretty good right now. Okay, so with that being said, I was super delusional, man. I was so freaking delusional about how much weight I had to lose, and it has gotten to me. It really has. It's gotten to me to the point where it's become mentally draining to know that I'm almost 200 pounds. And I spent years being between 260 and 290 powerlifting, and to think that I don't even have 200 pounds worth of muscle on my frame at 6 foot. Man, I spent years and years and years of training super heavy and super intense, lifting heavy weights, training 3 days a week, and just beating the crap out of my body with these massive loads. And don't even have 200 pounds worth of muscle on my frame to hold abs. I don't have abs at 207 pounds after all of that. You would think after almost 10 years of powerlifting and just lifting those crazy intensive loads that you would at least have 200 pounds. You could at least be 200 pounds with abs. I'm not saying 200 pounds bodybuilding competition ready, but at least 200 pounds with visible abs. But no, not this fatty, bo fatty, fee-fi fo fatty. And it just goes to show, man, people talk about this crazy high intensity and all this other crap. Well, I think powerlifting is pretty high intensity. I don't think that you can argue saying powerlifting isn't high intensity. Lifting super heavy loads for 3 to 5 reps with about 80 to 90% of your 1 rep max. That's not intense. That's not intense. I don't know what intensity. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, but doing a seated machine assist row with 80 pounds with a slow controlled negative and a hard squeeze, that's not intense. That's not intense. I'm sorry. Using a 30-pound dumbbell and doing a high hold contraction with a slow controlled negative with a deep stretch at the bottom, that's not intense. That's not intensity. I'm sorry. When I think of intensity, I'm thinking about the guy who looks like he's about to murder somebody, getting hyped up before going and pulling 550 pounds for as many reps as possible. That's intense. The guy on the bench who's about to lay under 365 pounds and bang it for as many times as he possibly can, hoping that something doesn't go wrong and the bar doesn't slip and crush and kill him. That's intense to me. The dude loading up X amount of weight on the squat, knowing man, I don't know if I can even get this for 4, but I'm going to go for 5. Not super slow, pause, sit there and wait, come up. That's not intense. I'm sorry. That's this. My idea of intensity is something different than I guess what everyone else's idea. I don't know what other people's mindset of intensity is, but that's not it. That's not it. That's not intensity. You come in the gym okay, guys, it's time for me. I'm gonna watch me do this curl. Watch how intense this is going to be. This is a 20-pound dumbbell. This is intense. Let's get a stretch. Ooh. dude, that's not intense. That's not intense. That's not intensity. I'm sorry, it's not. Do that with like a 80. No, we're talking intense, right? And you're not going to do that with an 80. With an 80, you're going to try to get just, look, I gotta get it moving. I just gotta move it. I gotta keep it moving. That's intensity. I'm sorry. But that's just my mindset. So for me, lifting the way I lifted for so long, you might be like, oh, you're wrong, and you're stupid, and you're an idiot, and that's why, because you don't know, because you're stupid. That's why you don't have that much muscle, because you're dumb. No. I've trained like that many, many times. Man, I started training like that when I first heard about Dorian Yates, whenever I was a teenager. If y'all know anything about DC training, I started training DC training whenever I was like probably 23, 22, 24, somewhere around there. Did that for almost 6 months to a year. I did DC training. That's high intensity, low volume, low frequency. So I've done it, and it was months and years, so I don't want to hear all that BS. But anyways, I'm getting, that's going on a totally different tangent here. Anyways, what I'm getting at is that I figured that like by the time like I got to the point where I was done powerlifting and I was ready to cut weight, I was going to be like jacked and stacked and massive and have like all this muscle and be like, okay, man, I spent X amount of years lifting this way. Now let's shed the pounds and show the beauty underneath what this broken body has accomplished. And then, psych, yeah, right, there ain't nothing to show, man. There's nothing to show. 207 at 6 foot, that's skinny, man. That's so skinny. That's skinny fat. That's what I am. I am skinny fat. And it is just annoying. I'm not giving up. It's just this body dysmorphia talking. This is straight up, pure, 100% undeniable body dysmorphia. That's what this is. Pure, undeniable body dysmorphia and extreme disappointment of being like, I thought I was going to look bigger than what I am at this weight. Well, I thought I was going to be like more lean and a heavier body mass, but that's just not the way it happened. So now I cut my volume back, I cut my frequency back to everything once a week, which is great. I'm really enjoying that. And I brought aggression and intensity and volume and everything else I could think of to my training sessions. You know, I do high volume, I do intensity, I do drop sets and rest pause, and I'm just having fun with it now. And I gotta tell you, I feel like I'm making ooh, that hurts right there. Oh, that's a lot of pain. That's a severe amount of pain right there. Oh, this teardrop is crazy tight. But anyway, so like I said, I'm trying to bring the pain while I'm working out, and I'm trying to do everything I can to make it as hard as I possibly can. And I feel like these last maybe 3-4 weeks I started training like this, have made the biggest difference in my physique. I think I've made more forward progress in the last 4 weeks than I have in months training the way I'm training now than the way I've been training. Just balls to the wall, hardcore, you know, just like not thinking about how many reps, not thinking about the program, not thinking about how many sets, not thinking about which exercise is optimal for the stretch and the control and the squeeze and blah, 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 blah. Just like, you know, what would suck the most right now? What can I do that would suck the most? What would be the hardest thing I could do right now? Or what would be the hardest style of set that I can do right now in this movement? Would it be a drop set? Would it be a rest pause? Would it be a superset? Like, what can I do to get the absolute most amount of blood into this muscle with this movement? And what could I do afterwards to just completely destroy myself? And I think I've made more progress in the last 4 weeks doing this than I have in months training the other way I've been training, with a high intensity, slow control, deep stretch, flex and then slow control, deep stretch. Now, I still do that on some exercises because I'm not discrediting how valuable that is. Like, I don't think that that's dumb to do, and I don't think it's not beneficial and useful. But to structure your whole entire training like that, like everything, to do everything like that, every set and every rep like that, come on, man, that is boring. That's so freaking boring. You can't sit there and tell me
that's like, oh yeah, this is so fun, this is so awesome, I'm so excited, I can't wait to get to the gym to do this, oh my God, you watch the way I lift this weight, I'm gonna go so entirely slow, and I'm gonna go slow and entirely, well, watch this guys, watch the way I do this, it's gonna be so intense, you guys are gonna be just mind-boggling, I'm gonna get this bicep to grow, it's not about how much weight you use, guys, negligent, watch this intensity. Oh, I'm just so excited. Oh, that's so fun. Oh my God, I'm having a blast. Oh, I'm having a blast. Oh yeah, buddy, blasting these biceps with this 5-er. Get out of here with that shit. That's not fun.
If you say it is, then I guess there's something wrong with me or something wrong with you, but there's something wrong with someone. I don't know who it is, but I'm not gonna say it's me. That's for sure. That's just not fun to me. That's boring as sin. That's what that is. I'm gonna move this camera around, guys, while I'm still talking. So anyways, yeah, body dysmorphia. Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun to choose this as a hobby, right? Where it's just like, hey, what can you do? You can starve yourself. You can do calculated starving. What do you want to do for a hobby? Oh, I don't know, maybe eat certain foods that suck and kind of starve myself. You don't have to eat the way you eat. You don't have to do chicken or rice. You could do other, if it fits your macros, or you could do calorie counting, and you could do a high, volume with low calorie foods, blah, 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 right? You could do all that. But at the end of the day, if you're losing weight, you're hungry. If you are not hungry while you're losing weight, then either there's something wrong with you or you're a liar. It's just that simple. You're going to be hungry. When your body starts to decline in body mass, it starts sending hunger signals out through your system. Now, once you get to the point where you're so lean and you have to eat a lot of food to hold on to your muscle mass because you're so big and you're so lean and you're trying not to burn up your muscle mass, that's a different story. But for a fat guy like myself and like what I was, and most of you fatties out there that are trying to do the same thing I'm doing, let's be honest, if you get your feelings hurt, if you're trying to lose weight and you don't already have your abs, it's because you're a fatty, right? You like food just as much as you enjoy everything else in life. Like you're hungry. It sucks. It's hard. It's difficult. It's not fun to be hungry, right? It sucks. So it's just like, what do you want to do for a hobby? Well, I want to pick up these heavy things right here, and I want to pick them up to be able to pick up heavier things, and I want to get super sore from it and feel like my arms are tearing when I'm working and moving throughout the day, and my legs are just painfully tired as I'm walking around, and I look like a duck, and trying to sit down and use the restroom's the absolute worst. And then I want to calculate starving where I'm eating this crappy foods where I'm super hungry, but I'm super healthy at the same time. But then all the joy in my life is gone due to the fact that I'm eating these lousy foods and I'm tired and I'm hungry all the time and sore. That's a great hobby to have. Something wrong, right? Something wrong. Like, what are you going to do? I'm going to get powerlifting. I'm going to overeat all this food. And I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat all this food. I'm going to eat a lot of it. I'm going to lift these super heavy weights and have super high blood pressure, super high cholesterol. And but I'm going to be strong. I'm going to be real strong. And, oh, you don't have to eat like that to be strong. Yeah, the majority of people do, though. Nah. Anyways, I'm 207 pounds, guys. It's working. My diet's working. I've been steadily losing. How much weight have I lost now? Okay, I'm going to have to probably use some fingers here because I'm not a mathematician. I'm just a stupid meathead. That is what, I want to start it at 35. Okay, so if we're 235 to 215, that's 20. 25 would be what, 210. So 28, total of 28 pounds is what we lost, right? That's pretty cool. 28 pounds, and now we're going into week 10. So I think we're going into week 10. I'm pretty sure we're going into week 10 because we started May 8th. So it's July 6th, I think, or 7th. So 6th or 7th. It's Sunday of July. It's the one that the hurricane's hitting. I can't remember. Anyways, I think we're going into week 10. I think that was week 9 last week. This is week 9, and then tomorrow's week 10. So 27, 28 pounds in 10 weeks. That's pretty freaking impressive, man. That's pretty freaking impressive, man. That's boiled chicken and brown rice with a little bit of olive oil, green beans, egg whites, oatmeal, and a protein shake. That's what I've been eating. And you say, well, that's not the way you do your diet. That's not how you do it. I'm going to tell you how you do it. Well, that's how I did it, and I've got super fast results, man. I'm dropping weight like crazy, but I also feel like I'm dropping a lot of muscle mass too. Feels like I lost a lot of size in my muscles. I know most of it was fat. I know I lost a lot of fat, but I can't help but feel like a lot of muscle has gone with it too. But I keep telling myself, if you lose it while you're cutting, you never really had it to begin with. That just means that it was water weight from carbohydrates or sodium, intramuscular, fat. It was bloat. There's a lot of other factors. Like, it wasn't actual muscle that I lost. It was actual, like, fluff. Water, carbs, sodium, fat. That's what I lost. Because if you worked for many, many years, for 10 years of powerlifting, and you were like massively fat, but you felt like you had a decent amount of muscle, and now you're 207 and you still don't have abs, clearly you weren't what you thought you were. And that's why you're not as big as you thought you were going to be. But my arms are so small, guys. My arms are only 15 and a half. Like right now, without a pump, that's 15 and a half inches right there. Okay? That's a 15 and a half inch arm. That's what that is. At 6 foot tall, 207 pounds. Ugh. Stupid, man. Like man, and I think, like, man, what if it was 17 inches? What if I just had a 17 inch arm? How nice would that be to have a 17 inch arm? How much bigger that would look? I know how much bigger it looked because I had actually right at 19 inch arms, but of course it was a whole lot of fat. Anyways, I'm going to go to end the video here, guys, because I'm just ranting. I will see y'all tomorrow for a workout video. And hopefully this hurricane doesn't flood us and knock my power out so I can work out. But all the same, hopefully I see y'all tomorrow, depending on how the hurricane goes.